God says, someone in your family is seriously sick, and only this prayer can save them. This prayer may bring hope and healing to your family. Please don't turn away from this message. Open it now. Something important may happen within the next 3 days, my beloved child. Still your heart for a moment, for someone in your family is passing through intense suffering and needs to be sustained by your faith, your presence, and your sincere prayers. I am not calling you to make you panic, nor am I placing a responsibility upon your shoulders that exceeds your strength. I simply want you to recognize that love should not remain at a distance, while someone dear to you is weak and weary. There are times when your hands cannot change the circumstances, and your understanding cannot fully grasp what is happening, yet you can still draw near. Listen, offer care, and place that person beneath my protection. Do not allow confusion to make you turn away, and do not let dark forebodings rob you of peace. Remain in stillness, because I want to teach you how to become a steady source of support while your family is being shaken. I know that this illness has kept your heart from resting through many nights. You have watched the strength of someone you love gradually diminish, listened to every labored breath, noticed subtle changes that others may have overlooked, and silently wondered what tomorrow might bring. I have seen the tears you concealed behind closed doors, the words you wanted to speak but did not know how to begin, and the fear of loss that you were afraid even to name. Yet remember that fear is not meant to be your guide. You may grieve without surrendering to despair, feel anxious while still choosing trust, and experience weakness while continuing to stand through love. I do not condemn you for the moments when you tremble. I only ask you not to build your dwelling place within panic, because from there it becomes difficult to see clearly and respond with wisdom and tenderness. The prayer I have placed within you is not a secret formula, nor is it a set of words meant to force a miracle to happen according to your desires. Prayer is the moment you open your heart before me, bringing both your faith and your helplessness, and entrusting your loved one to a care that surpasses the limits of your understanding. You do not need elaborate language, you do not need to pretend to be strong, and you do not need to hide your fear. Speak to me honestly. Ask that this person be strengthened, that the pain be eased, that the doctors be given clarity, that the family remain united, and that every decision be made in peace. When you pray in this way, your heart will no longer be consumed only by the worst possibilities, but will begin to recognize the practical paths I am opening in the midst of hardship. Do not confuse faith with delaying necessary care. If your loved one is seriously ill, help them receive appropriate examination, treatment, and monitoring. Listen to qualified professionals. Ask questions whenever something is unclear. Remember important instructions and never dismiss warning signs. I can sustain you through many different means. Through prayer, through a caring hand, through a devoted physician, through timely treatment, or through a clear-minded decision made during an urgent hour. Do not restrict my help to one single form. What I desire from you is the cooperation of love. Pray wholeheartedly while acting responsibly. Trust deeply without abandoning wisdom. Perhaps you believe you are too insignificant to make a difference. You cannot cure the illness, carry the pain in another person's place, or determine the final outcome. Yet you can still do far more than you realize. You can sit beside that person without making them feel like a burden. You can listen without rushing to offer advice. You can prepare a meal, arrange an appointment, share caregiving responsibilities with others, or simply preserve a peaceful atmosphere in the room. A person who is ill does not always need grand promises. Sometimes they simply need to know they have not been left alone. Your patient presence can become a place of rest for them, and your gentleness can lighten a day that once seemed unbearable. I also want you to care for yourself throughout this journey. Caring for someone who is ill can exhaust you. If you believe you must carry everything alone, you are not the healer, and you do not need to play the role of one who controls every outcome. Share responsibilities with your family. Seek support when it is needed. Rest when your body speaks, and do not feel guilty because you also need care. A person who has been completely drained will struggle to offer peace to anyone else. Therefore, eat properly, sleep whenever you can, step outside to breathe, and allow yourself to cry when your heart becomes too heavy. I do not consider your rest selfish. I see it as preparation that allows you to continue loving with a clear and steady heart. There may be days when your loved one's condition improves, followed by setbacks that leave you discouraged. Do not allow every small fluctuation to determine the whole of your faith. Recovery sometimes comes slowly, does not follow a straight path, and requires more patience than you expected. Learn to be grateful for every small sign. A more restful night, a full meal, an encouraging result, the return of a smile, or a conversation no longer overwhelmed by fear. These things may not mark the end of the journey, but they remind you that hope is still present, even when you have not yet seen what you long for. I remain close to you throughout every hour of waiting. Do not use prayer as a weapon against yourself. If the outcome does not unfold as you desired, it does not mean that your faith was too weak, that you did not pray enough, or that you failed to perform some mysterious requirement. There are limits that human willpower cannot overcome, and there are questions that cannot yet receive a complete explanation. I do not want you to carry the additional burden of guilt upon pain that is already overwhelming. What I see is the love you hold for your family member, the effort you make through every small act, and your faithfulness in remaining beside them. Let prayer become the place where you are sustained, not the whip you use to punish yourself. Now quiet your heart and place the one you love into my hands. Speak their name with tenderness, asking that they be surrounded by peace, receive proper care, and be given strength for each day. Ask that those treating them be granted clarity, patience, and precision. Ask that your family speak to one another with love rather than panic, support one another rather than assign blame and treasure. Every moment you are still able to share. After you have prayed, rise and do the nearest good thing that lies within your reach. A phone call, a caring question, a medical appointment, a hand held in reassurance, or a loving silence can all become steps of faith. I am with you in the hospital room, in the waiting corridor, in the steady sound of machines, and through the nights when you no longer know what to ask for. You do not need to hold tomorrow in your hands. You only need to remain faithful to love today. Let your heart remain tender without being shattered, strong without becoming hardened, and hopeful without denying reality. Although the road ahead still contains many unknowns, you do not walk it alone. I will give you enough strength for each day, enough wisdom for every decision, and enough peace to remain beside the one you love with all the tenderness I have planted within you. I am not demanding that you create a miracle through your own strength. I am simply calling you to remain present. Open your heart and receive the peace that is being placed in the midst of your family's anxiety. You have tried to calculate too much, searched for too many answers, and silently carried burdens far beyond your ability. Now stop forcing yourself to control every development. Your sincere presence, a prayer born from love, and a timely act of care are already immeasurably precious. I do not measure your faith by outward displays, nor do I require you to prove your trust through any visible sign. What I seek is an honest heart that knows how to surrender while remaining watchful, to hope without denying reality, and to pray while also being willing to do what must be done. The person who is appearing in your thoughts at this moment has never been beyond my concern. I know their name, every pain they have hidden, every night they tried to appear strong, so that the family would worry less, and every moment when they were too weary to form words. No diagnosis causes me to turn away, and no difficult stage diminishes my love. Yet understand that my protection can come through many different paths: appropriate treatment, the devotion of a caregiver, the patience of a family, a wise decision or strength, granted to the patient so they can continue through each day. Do not restrict divine support to one single outcome, shaped by your expectations. Let your heart become wide enough to recognize that I am still at work, even when the process is slower than you hoped and different from what you originally asked for. You are not an emotionless bridge through which power must pass. You are my beloved child, invited to cooperate through compassion. Your role is not to carry another person's destiny, nor to condemn yourself when you cannot change. What you can do is offer them emotional safety, help them understand that they are not alone, and join them in seeking the care they need. Sometimes the most powerful encouragement is not a grand declaration, but a simple assurance. I am here. We will take this one step at a time. Sometimes the act that carries the greatest faith is taking them to the hospital at the right moment. Asking careful questions about their medication, recording unusual symptoms, or taking turns with others so that no one becomes completely exhausted. Mature love does not only know how to look upward and pray, it also knows how to bend down and serve with wisdom. I want the prayer within you to awaken from the deepest place of sincerity. You do not need impressive words to make me listen, because I heard you even before your lips began to speak. Pray honestly. Ask that your loved one be given endurance, that the pain be reduced, that their mind not be covered by the darkness of despair, and that those treating them recognize what needs to be recognized without overlooking important signs. Ask that your family know how to love one another through the trial, because illness rarely touches only one person. It often shakes the entire household. When everyone is weary, words can become sharp. When fear increases, small misunderstandings can grow into great distances. Therefore, be one who sows calmness, do not add more noise to a place already filled with uncertainty. Whenever you pray, you are not abandoned in loneliness. I am near you when you do not know what to say, when you can only sit quietly and allow the tears to fall. Your silence can also become a prayer when it contains love and surrender. Yet, do not believe that the longer you remain before me, the more I become obligated to follow your will. I do not want you to turn prayer into a bargain in which you pay with attention in exchange for a certain result. I want you to discover within prayer a room of peace, a place where your troubled heart is set in order, where fear is called by its proper name, and where you receive enough strength to do the next good thing. This illness may have brought painful days and left your family uncertain about what lies ahead, but it does not have the authority to strip you of dignity, love, and hope. The final outcome does not belong to panic. Let every decision be guided by understanding rather than rumors, and by trust rather than unsupported promises. Whenever you hear advice about treatment, consider it carefully, examine the source, and consult qualified professionals. I do not want you to chase after things that may cause the patient to miss necessary care. Faith does not stand against wisdom. On the contrary, faith gives you enough calmness to see clearly which path should be taken. Perhaps you once believed that you were weak, easily frightened, or incapable of supporting your family. Yet the strength I give does not necessarily remove all sadness, weariness, or fear. True strength is the ability to continue acting with love even while your heart trembles. It means refusing to let fear become anger, refusing to let exhaustion cause you to speak words that wound the patient, and refusing to allow disappointment to make you abandon the journey. I am teaching you a gentle strength, one that is quiet yet enduring. It knows how to remain when others want to withdraw, patiently explain when a loved one is confused, and ask for help when personal strength is no longer enough. You have been called not because you are perfect, but because your heart still knows how to love in difficult days. That willingness gives your presence great value. Nevertheless, remember that willingness does not mean taking every responsibility upon yourself. Allow others to contribute, communicate clearly about what you need, and do not wait until you collapse before admitting that you are tired. Some members of your family may not know how to help. Give them a specific task. Others may remain outside because they are afraid of making a mistake. Gently invite them to step closer. When responsibility is shared, love has more room to breathe, and the patient does not have to watch one beloved person slowly disappear beneath the weight of caregiving. In the midst of all these things, I want you to experience the peace surrounding you, not as a passing emotion, but as a foundation upon which you can stand. Peace does not mean that you already know what tomorrow will bring. Peace means knowing that whatever tomorrow brings, you will receive wisdom for every choice, courage for every step, and support when you can no longer stand by yourself. Do not look at the entire road and become terrified. Look instead at the nearest step. Who needs to be called today? What question needs to be asked of the doctor? What must be prepared for the patient? Is there an apology that needs to be spoken, or rest that needs to be taken? Do the nearest thing with faithfulness. My beloved child, do not surrender authority over your heart to the illness, and do not let hope become a denial of pain. You may trust while still weeping, hope while preparing for different possibilities, pray for recovery while treasuring every day you still have. I am present in the most ordinary moments, a hand held firmly, a glass of water offered at the right time, a blanket gently adjusted, a caring question asked without pressure, or a silence that does not force the patient to pretend to be strong. Continue loving through such things. It is there that my presence becomes near. Fear gradually loses its voice, and your family learns how to pass through hardship without losing one another. I am leading you out of the haze of fear and into a place of clarity, calmness, and strength, because you are neither alone nor entirely powerless before what your family is facing. Anxiety has repeatedly driven your thoughts toward the worst possible outcomes, causing you to believe that every door is closing and that nothing remains within your ability. But now I want you to stop, breathe deeply, and look upon the situation. Through eyes cleansed of panic, you can still pray, still love, still make wise decisions, and still become a place of refuge for someone who is weak. I do not promise that you will immediately understand everything, but I will not allow you to walk without guidance. Each day, every decision and every word you speak can be placed within wisdom rather than controlled by fear. I am teaching you to declare life, not through exaggerated words, but by choosing hope while the complete answer remains unseen. When you say that restoration is beginning, understand that restoration may appear in many forms: an appropriate treatment, a more restful night, relief from pain, a doctor recognizing something important, a family member returning to harmony, or a patient rediscovering courage after days of despair. Do not force my help into a single pattern. Great things are sometimes formed through steps so small and quiet that you may overlook them. Therefore, keep your heart awake enough to recognize progress that appears ordinary, because such progress may be the first seed of a new season. Now pray with complete sincerity, even if your voice still trembles and your eyes remain filled with tears. I do not demand that you hide your weakness from me. Tell me that you are afraid, that you are tired, and that you do not know what to do next. Then ask me for the clarity to recognize what must be done today. Ask that your loved one receive timely care, encounter people of knowledge and devotion, be listened to without being dismissed, receive careful treatment, and be surrounded by those who know how to bring peace. Ask that your family not allow pressure to divide them, not accuse one another out of exhaustion, and not chase unsupported promises because of confusion. A mature prayer does not cause you to escape reality. It helps you face reality with love and responsibility. I know that certain voices within you are still whispering that it is already too late, that your faith is insufficient, or that your efforts have no meaning. Do not believe the words that drive you into despair and self-condemnation. I have never required you to be perfect in order to be heard, nor have I placed the final outcome of your loved one's condition upon your shoulders as a burden. You are not responsible for everything that happens, and you must not use every change in the illness to measure the value of your prayers. What I desire is faithfulness in love. Remain when remaining is needed. Seek help when help is needed. Speak gently when others are afraid, and rest before you become completely depleted. These things are what make your faith alive. The perseverance I am cultivating within you does not mean clinging to a state of emotional tension, nor forcing yourself to repeat words until your mind is exhausted. Perseverance means waking each morning and continuing to choose the nearest good thing. It may mean calling to ask for an update, preparing a list of questions before meeting the doctor, reminding your loved one to take medication according to instructions, arranging for someone to take over a caregiving shift, or quietly sitting beside them without needing to speak. Understand that sincere care is also a prayer expressed through action. Every gesture born from love resists the sense of abandonment that illness often plants within the human heart. You must also protect your mind from sources of information that create confusion. Not every piece of advice delivered with confidence deserves trust, and not every extraordinary story applies to your loved one's situation. Consider carefully, verify what you hear, and seek qualified guidance when necessary. Do not allow desperation to push you toward choices that may cause harm or delay essential treatment. Wisdom does not weaken faith. Wisdom protects faith from becoming recklessness. I have given you the ability to ask questions, examine evidence, and seek proper guidance. Use these gifts with humility. When fear returns, do not immediately assume that you have failed. Some emotions do not disappear after a single prayer. They may return at night, while you wait for test results, or when you see that your loved one appears more tired than the day before. At such times, acknowledge the fear without giving it authority to rule you. Tell yourself that you are anxious, yet still capable of acting wisely, that you are grieving, yet still capable of loving, that you do not know what will happen, yet you do not need to face all of tomorrow in a single moment. Return to the present, do what is necessary, and allow tomorrow to arrive at its appointed time. I am placing within you a quiet strength, one that does not seek attention, but can endure through long and difficult days. This strength will help you resist, speaking hopeless words in front of the patient, treating them as an object of pity, or making them feel like a burden. Continue to see the complete person behind the illness, someone who still has preferences, memories, desires, and personal dignity. Ask what they want, listen to what they fear, and respect their limitations. Do not speak only about treatment. Give them moments in which they are allowed to live normally, laugh, remember beautiful things, and feel that they still belong within the family. You may long for a great sign to prove that everything is changing, but do not despise small transformations. A less anxious expression, an honest conversation, an agreed decision, an improved appetite, or a day in which the family does not argue are all worthy of gratitude. Hope does not live only within extraordinary results. Hope also lives in the way you treat one another throughout the trial. If illness cannot steal love, respect, and compassion from your home, then it has not taken possession of the entire story. My beloved child, this is a turning point, not because every difficulty immediately disappears, but because from this moment forward, you will no longer allow fear to determine how you think and act. You will continue with open eyes, a tender heart, and hands ready to do what is right. Pray, but also listen. Trust, but also seek appropriate care. Support your loved one, but do not forget to care for yourself. When you are tired, rest. When you are confused, ask questions. When you are hurting, allow yourself to cry. When you receive even a little peace, let that peace spread to those around you. I will remain close through every small step, not so that you may become the controller of every outcome, but so that you may become a person who loves deeply, lives wisely, and holds firmly to hope, even in the midst of things that cannot yet be fully understood. My beloved child, your family member needs both devoted human care and the divine peace that keeps them from collapsing during days of sickness. I do not want you to dismiss medical treatment or professional advice, but neither do I want you to believe that hope exists only in numbers, test results, or things visible to the human eye. There are strengths nourished by love, presence, patience, and enduring faith. When you sit beside the patient with a heart free from panic, pray sincerely for them, strengthen them with gentle words, and support them through practical action. You create a space in which they can feel loved, protected, and no longer forced to struggle alone. I am using your attentiveness to help you recognize things that may easily be overlooked. Perhaps your loved one does not only need another dose of medication or another appointment, but someone who will truly listen to what they fear. They may be trying to appear strong so that you will worry less while inwardly carrying great exhaustion and anxiety. Do not only ask where the pain is located, ask what troubles them most. Do not only tell them to keep fighting, assure them that they do not need to pretend to be well in your presence. Healing sometimes begins when a person is given permission to admit that they are weak, frightened, and in need of a hand to hold without judgment. You are not the source of healing, and you do not need to carry the pressure of saving your loved one through your own power. I have not placed upon you a responsibility that demands your complete exhaustion or forces you to blame yourself. When the outcome differs from what you hoped, I simply invite you to become a faithful companion. You can help them keep track of appointments, monitor medication, prepare questions for the doctor, learn which signs require urgent attention, and share caregiving duties with others. These things are not insignificant. Your careful, consistent, and responsible support can prevent many mistakes, reduce confusion, and give the patient a sense of safety during days when everything appears beyond control. Every moment in which you remain present through love has value, but do not believe that merely staying before a video, pressing a button, or typing a certain word will automatically drive illness away. Faith is not measured through such external reactions. I do not exchange healing for likes, comments, or prolonged attention. I look upon the sincerity within your heart, the way you treat the one who is suffering, the wisdom you use when making decisions, and the perseverance you show in things no one else sees. Be cautious of words that exploit your family's fear and force you to act immediately, because my love does not manipulate, threaten, or make you believe that overlooking one message could cost your loved one their chance to live. When someone claims that only one prayer, ritual, or secret method can save the person you love, stop and carefully examine the claim. I do not want you to be guided by panic. Absolute promises often target the most vulnerable place within you, making you believe that unless you listen until the end, perform a specific action, or purchase a certain solution, you will become guilty for what follows. That is not how peace leads. Remember that wisdom always gives you room to verify, consult qualified professionals, and make decisions without coercion. Anything that is truly good does not need to control you through fear of loss. I also want you to remain discerning when advertisements promise that only a few minutes each day or a special sound can quickly unlock memory, increase energy, or transform learning ability in extraordinary ways. People often long for a shortcut out of exhaustion, forgetfulness, or mental slowness, and therefore become attracted to powerful claims. But do not place your trust in something merely because it is described as newly revealed, rapidly spreading, or already helping thousands of people. Such statements may sound persuasive, but they do not automatically become true. Seek information from reliable sources, consider it rationally, and do not use an unverified sound, ritual, or product as a substitute for medical evaluation when unusual symptoms appear. If you are experiencing memory decline, mental fatigue, or difficulty concentrating, examine your entire way of life instead of chasing after an immediate promise. Lack of sleep, prolonged stress, irregular eating, insufficient physical activity, medication side effects, and many other health conditions can affect the ability to think. Begin with foundational things. Sleep more adequately, drink enough water, move in ways appropriate for you, schedule periods of rest, reduce sources of overload, and seek professional advice if the condition persists or becomes serious. I do not consider such steps a lack of faith. On the contrary, they are a way of honoring the life entrusted to you. You may use gentle music, silence, prayer, or relaxation exercises to help ease mental tension, but do not turn them into secret powers upon which all your hope depends. Something that helps you feel calmer may be useful as support, but it should not be presented as a guaranteed cure for everyone. Each person has a different situation, a different body, and different needs. Maturity means receiving what is helpful without exaggerating it, maintaining hope without abandoning truth, and remaining open to the sacred while still using understanding and discernment. I am teaching you that your attention is precious. Therefore, do not allow anyone to keep you captive by claiming that every second you look away weakens the miracle. Your attention should be given to what genuinely nourishes you and helps you act more wisely. If certain content brings you greater peace, clearer judgment, and encouragement to care responsibly for your family member, you may receive what is good within it. But if it causes fear, obsession, pressure, or the feeling that you must prove your faith through meaningless actions, you have the right to walk away. I am not confined to a screen, a length of time, or a sequence of sounds. My presence does not disappear because you turn off a video and go to your loved one to do what is necessary. Remember that your mission is not to become a channel of power that must be sustained through continuous, strained concentration. Your mission is to love with maturity. It means knowing how to pray without neglecting doctors, hope without denying symptoms, encourage without promising what you cannot guarantee, and remain present without controlling every choice made by the patient. When you live in this way, you bring light into your home more sustainably than any loud declaration ever could. I will guide you through every step with peace, not pressure. I will help you recognize when to speak, when to remain silent, when to call for assistance, and when to rest so that you are not emptied completely. Keep your heart tender and your mind alert. Let love move you, not fear. Let truth guide you, not attractive promises that have no foundation. Above all, remember that your loved one needs someone who is sincerely present, far more than someone trying to produce a miracle through uncertain rituals. Continue taking one small step at a time, do the nearest right thing, and allow my peace to keep you standing firm in the midst of questions that have not yet received a complete answer.